is Sanford Williams. I'm a master carver, and today I'm going to talk about different types of wood that I use for carving, whether it's hardwood or softwood, and what's best to use so you can, for future customers that want to order a certain type of wood. Sometimes I use yew wood for carvings. Not too much because it's really hard wood and it's heavy. In some places, depending on where you live, like on the west coast, I know some places they used yew wood for making bow and arrows because of the bow, because the wood is hard and it had that flexibility, and not break. And they also used it for like paddles sometimes because it was hard. But for the most part, we used a lot of yellow cedar for paddles, like this in here. This in here is out of yellow cedar. We used a lot of that for like a lot of whalers on the west coast. They used a lot of yellow cedar for paddles. And it depends on what we're making. Like a lot of small carvings, like plaques, like this year I used yellow cedar because it holds the knife really well compared to red cedar. Like red cedar doesn't hold. You have to have really super sharp knives to carve on red cedar. Only because of the grain. Like different types of red cedar have really wide grain depending on how old the tree is. So a lot of the red cedars we used for big totem poles, like for outside, because it held with the weather really well. So this in here is a sample of a red cedar totem pole. You wouldn't use that like hardwood. Like this in here is another sample of hardwood. This one's out of birch. It's going to be a small pole, but you wouldn't use that like for a large pole that it was going to be outside, because the wood wouldn't last as long as red cedar. And I use alder. Alder holds really well for carving as well. Like you can see with the fine detail in here. You can get more finer detail in the harder woods like alder. Alder is kind of hard, but not as hard as yew wood. It dries hard, but when you're carving with it, when it's wet, it's kind of soft when it's wet, but it hardens as it dries. So it holds the carving really well, as you can see on here. And you wouldn't want to, like alder kind of rots fast if it's wet all the time. So you wouldn't use that, like for a totem pole or something like outside. It would just rot really, really quick. So yeah, that's what I use.